Hey, gang. All right. So I live in Magnolia Park, and I noticed that there's been a lot of police activity in the neighborhood. Some of which is the result of the merchants and myself just bringing to the attention of the police various crimes such as people defecating in alleys and people drinking in public, and people just doing wrong things and graffiti and whatnot. So the number of patrols has increased. At least I've noticed it's increased, and I can't put an empirical value on it, but I noticed it's increased, and other people have taken notice as well. So let's talk about skimming. There's been a number of very shady, suspicious vehicles, kind of sticking around in the Magnolia Park area and just sitting there, observing the B of A ATM machine. And I'm like, well, this is kind of shady. And so someone said, well, they're probably installing skimmers. Oh, okay. Uh, so I looked around on how to identify a skimmer. What is a skimmer? A skimmer is a device that steals your ATM information and grabs your PIN number. So let's talk about it. Northwest Community Credit Union, a company that's not here in Burbank, but does a wonderful job explaining skimmers and how to find them. So look in the description below, and I'm going to give you the link to their URL because I don't want to, poach their information and not give them credit for it. But you can see that skimming is when somebody installs a fraudulent device that's designed to steal your credit card, your ATM number, your PIN number. And you'll notice that there's the way to spot these devices is actually pretty easy because they put something that looks similar to the card reader over top of the card reader, and it'll look different. So be sure when you're using the machine, you'll notice that sometimes you'll see that someone's added something to the outside. Notice how that looks very different. And then also you'll see this other type of skimmer. This type of skimmer, it looks just like the slot, but it comes out, it protrudes. And then you have the phony plate. So this plate goes over top of the existing plate, and then it captures the PIN number. So when you have a person that's doing the skimming, they also may sit back, and if they've got your card number through the skimmer, they also may sit back and use binoculars or a telephoto lens to capture the information about your PIN number. So when you're putting in your PIN number, don't press that in so that other people could possibly see it. I always put my hand over my PIN number when I'm entering it, just so you know. So folks, be very careful when you're using the ATM machines. You'll be able to spot the skimmers. They're pretty easy to spot once you know what you're looking for. And just be diligent about it. I'm going to talk about some other security ideas a little later on, but I wanted to put together a formal presentation for residents to explain to you how to avoid financial crimes against yourself. And I also wrote some security ideas at myburbank.com. You might want to take a look at my letter to the editor there regarding security and how to avoid certain kinds of hacking and things on your computer, phishing, and stuff like that. So I hope you're careful, and I hope you don't get ripped off. And of course, be very, very diligent. And one thing to keep in mind, don't keep millions of dollars in the account that has your ATM card. In fact, if you've got a lot of money in the bank, never use an ATM card with that account. And we'll talk about that a little bit later and how to avoid getting ripped off.